For today's cup of coffee,
she did a thing. What was the thing? It's like she clicked on something and then made this face.
I'm very facially animated.
It was like, look, I don't know how to.
It's like a cartoon character come to life. That's what you told me.
I wish we had cameras.
No. I would rather not. I don't need trolls in my life on top of everything else.
It would have been like.
See, that's the thing about getting older.
Dramatic frown.
Yeah, that's the thing about getting older and the way your skin, you can do different things facially that you can't when you're younger.
That's a good thing.
Well, it can be if you use it correctly. But these people too busy getting the Botoxes and the this and that and the other and being appalled by whatever. By the reality of aging. There are people that are appalled by reality, period, these days.
Madonna's face has finally settled.
What does that even mean?
I'm serious. Her face has finally settled. Like, she got... Remember when she was looking real...
Alien?
Real fucked up there for a second? Madonna stuns and new selfie.
What? The woman is 65 years old. There's nothing wrong with being 65 years old. There's not.
She's
done stuff with her life.
Her face has finally settled down. Her face has finally settled into what it was supposed to be, rather than just the puffy, the pillow face.
I don't know. It's craziness.
It finally settled.
Well, that was like, this may end up being a totally different cup than what I intended, and I'm all right with that because we'll just go with the flow. That was like watching RazorFist, his presentation about Alice Cooper, which is phenomenal. It is 2 hours and 30 minutes of RazorFist talking about Alice Cooper with RazorFist having Alice Cooper eyes. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I was enwrapped for the 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool. But that's a long...
It was
That's a movie.
Sort of.
That's a full-on documentary.
But when he does the documentary or rockumentaries or whatever the hell you want to call them.
Rockumentary.
He puts an amazing amount of work into that.
Uh-huh.
And it is a labor of love for him because... and I think that's the reason that I appreciate when he does those so much. He loves these bands. He loves the music. Yeah. And that's the difference between a radio announcer and a DJ. Mm-hmm. A DJ is somebody who knows the music intimately, loves the music, or hates the music.
Sometimes they got to play songs that they hate.
Oh God.
They really do.
That time that they went to that top 40 adult contemporary format, I thought I was going to scream.
Yeah, you were in hell with that.
I was in hell.
How come they don't have genre of DJ? Like DJs that do their specific genre that they want.
They used to. That was when radio was real radio. And it's one of those that now what happened when radio first became a thing, it was magical. Mm-hmm. And radio can still be magical if you get real radio. And like every other form of media right now, you've got the 5 or 6 corporations that own every fucking thing.
Yep.
And I am resentful towards that because we need to have community radio. Mm-hmm. And the reason they wanted everybody to speak standard American English, which I resent, to where everybody sounds identical. How boring is that? But they didn't want... People would tune into different stations. It's like Wolfman Jack. He was iconic. Back in the day, that was a voice unlike any other. These were personas.
Mm-hmm.
And when they had sort of power and control to a degree,
Yeah.
it gave them the ability to dicker about pay and different things like that. And the owners didn't want that. And now they want everybody's expendable.
Which ain't right.
No, it ain't right. That or you've got all this canned programming. That's exactly what happened at the stations around here. That it's coming out of California or wherever it is. And it's just plugged into the computer. It automatically plays and you don't even have anybody at the radio station. But if shit goes down in your area, you know nothing about it.
Nothing.
Because you don't have a live person there that somebody calls and says, hey, we've got, an incident going on here at such and such place, and tell people to avoid this area and different things like that. That's part of the joy and the necessity of local radio.
Well, they actually, for example, California, New York, they still got actual DJs.
Right.
They do.
Because they've got a huge market.
Yeah. So it's like these big cities.
It's all about the money.
Yeah. They've got the DJs. They've got the music. While little towns like us, we don't got nothing.
We don't anymore because the big guys bought up the little guys. And it's always been horribly unfair because you've got the licensing fees, which radio stations have to play so that the artists can get paid and stuff like that. And if you've got a small station, they have to pay the same licensing fee as one of these huge stations.
Yeah, which ain't right.
No, it ain't right. It ain't right at all. And so, unless you do something, I think that ETSU, which is a college it's several hours from us, I think they have like a college radio station as far as it being like a nonprofit or something like that. But you still have to, that just because nonprofit, you still, well, I don't know how that works with nonprofit. It's usually viewer supported. It's sort of like, the PBS TV station.
So people donate?
Uh-huh.
But what if people stop donating?
Then
it just gets shut down.
Absolutely. You have to have money to operate.
So then that makes the people feel obligated in a way to donate.
Sure. I mean, it's just like Review Bra in his, he does a shortwave radio broadcast, and it is viewer or listener supported.
Yeah, and he does really well with it.
He does. He's wonderful. It is that old school radio style, which I appreciate. Mm-hmm. And there's so many varieties and ways that you can go in radio.
A lot of things.
But anyhow, as far as RazorFist talking about Alice Cooper, and Alice Cooper is from Arizona, and that's where RazorFist is located. If you're not familiar with RazorFist, I mean, I will put a link to his channel. He is shock jock delivery. Mm-hmm. It is a persona that he plays.
So he's not like that in real life?
I doubt it. He couldn't be. Nobody can be that keyed up all the damn time.
Well,
you can't. Well, maybe.
There's some people that are.
Yeah, that's like we were talking about some of these people that are actors and stuff, and that there's no off switch.
Yeah.
Oh, lead singers. That's what we were talking about. We were actually discussing lead singers and the documentary earlier today. And Alice Cooper, actually, it was a group to begin with. And that these guys were high school jocks.
What about Alice?
He was.
He was?
Uh-huh.
I cannot imagine.
Vince Fernier is a French name, which I shouldn't even be allowed to try to pronounce. That he was, had won races.
Okay.
And so
That's
it was one of
interesting.
those that the documentary is so well done. And he tells about, the discography. And RazorFist doesn't pull any punches as far as, Alice is, 74, 75 now?
Yeah. Somewhere around
And
that
has
age.
been doing this since the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had hits or misses, and RazorFist explained, and Alice has told these things himself. If you can find some of the documentaries that he, when he's been interviewed and things, as far as his struggle with alcoholism, which was severe. And that he had the album, which is so dear to me, and I was very grateful at RazorFist that was one of his favorites, called From the Inside. And this was an album, it was a theme album that Alice had produced after it was about his stay in, it wasn't rehab back in the day. They would put you in a mental facility for alcoholism, because that was where people went, because they didn't have all the programs and stuff that they do now.
Yeah.
But that the different people that Alice met while he was in there, and their stories, because there was no separation, and it's interesting how all those things have changed. But that is just such a dear album to me, because I discovered that when it was a matter of me combating my own alcoholism years ago. And when you're open and honest about these things, you don't have to worry somebody going, I remember when you was, and it's like, well, I'm glad you do. I probably was blacked out.
Yeah, it's just...
People going, did you remember? No, I didn't. I didn't remember shit. And that was a problem.
Yeah.
That was a definite problem. But what was interesting was that things that I didn't know, as far I knew that Alice Cooper had issues with cocaine, but also as far as crack. And that's some hardcore stuff.
Crack hoe.
Yeah. Yeah. And the interviews that he did during that period of time when he was smoking crack, oh my God.
What were they like?
It was horrifying.
It
truly was horrifying. And that he's got four albums during that period of time, one of which is another one of my favorite, which is Dada.
That was fucking creepy.
I love Dada.
That whole album.
I love that album. That Alice doesn't even remember. Doesn't remember writing it, producing it, and performing it. Nothing.
It's blacked out that whole time.
No, yeah.
Damn.
And even after...
That's a scary thought. Like, going through a whole year. Years.
Plural. Mm-hmm.
Just... And no recollection of anything.
Right. And it's like I was telling Kid about the Richard Pryor thing, as far as him setting himself on fire with the freebasing.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a thing back then. You don't hear about that as much, because people hopefully, well, I think they're just doing other stuff that we don't even know about right now. Like Madonna being 65 and in denial. But now Alice Cooper...
She ain't in denial. She just, I don't know what.
He definitely is not in any denial about his age. And where he has been out in the sun playing golf for years, he looks it.
Yeah, that sun will damage your skin.
Yeah. And it's like, it doesn't matter, because he's sober. He's doing lots of programs, and that he does there around Phoenix and stuff. A yearly, for that area, concert. It's like a Christmas something. I doubt he's singing Christmas carols, but, local something. He tries to give back to the community, which is great. He's got a program for troubled youth. as far as to help them through music, to get into music instead of being on drugs. And when you've got somebody that's been there and come out on the other side, then they've got a voice of authority.
Yeah.
As opposed to somebody speaking from theory. Mm-hmm. But RazorFist's reaction to a lot of these things, his passion is very clear. And because that he, is on video, of course, he's got the face for video. I've got the face for radio. A lot of us do. And just to see that joy. And he didn't pull any punches as far as some of the albums that if they were bad, you can't have a career that spans like 50 some years and not have some clinkers in there. And Alice has had some clinkers.
Yeah, he says some bad. He says some trash.
And
Can I just say
the album Trash was actually quite good. I really like the album Trash.
I didn't even know about that album.
Yes, that's the one where the song Poison came from.
Yeah, no, that album's good.
It really is.
Literal, you name off an album that would throw in the garbage.
Yeah, that one, whatever it was, Diamonds, I don't even own that one. I have a vast Alice Cooper collection. That one, no, if I do own that one just for the sake of owning it, I'll probably need to fling that.
You probably had it at one point and then was like, this is horrible, and then never threw it away. Or you threw it away and never got it again.
Maybe. There were some of them that when they came out and I'm like, ew. But honestly, some of the older stuff, $1 Billion Babies is still just such an amazing album, and so is Killer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and that some of the songs are timeless. Mm-hmm. Some of them have become legend and anthem and have absolutely been worn the fuck out because there's so many other songs out there. School's out. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Welcome to My Nightmare.
Mr. Nice Guy.
Now, Welcome to My Nightmare is an awesome album. It really is.
But Welcome to My Nightmare, in general, that song is more out.
Yeah. It really... But it's one of those...
It's a good song. So
it is a good song.
That's why they wear it out. When they have hits, and they're going to wear that hit out.
Yeah.
And that's usually what they do. They just...
And I should have pulled up a discography, but...
bludgeon you to death with those songs.
One of my favorite songs that they did on an earlier album, it was called The Ballad of Dwight Fry. God, that is so haunting.
You know what? Steven creeped me the fuck out.
Absolutely. and within a lot of his albums, you will have this mental health crisis theme. Because it is something that frightens people. Mm-hmm. Because they're afraid it'll happen to them. And some people don't realize how easily it could happen to them.
Yeah, and when it happens, it is kind of scary.
It's not like somebody wakes up one morning and suddenly they're schizophrenic. That's not how that works.
No.
But if somebody has a traumatic head injury.
And then all of a sudden hallucinates because it said brain injury.
Yeah. So that's the reason that people fear that. A lot of them don't even want to talk about it, except as far as the frightening trend of, oh, I've got this disorder, how about you?
When has mental illness become a trend?
It became in vogue.
I think that, seriously, Tumblr started that trend because everybody on there had mental health issues because everybody was a fucking teen on there.
Right.
So...
And that's the reason that teens, it's so important that they have positive role models.
Yeah.
To sit there and go, honey, this is hormones. Hormones will fuck you up. Mm-hmm. This too shall pass.
And now you got mentally ill adults on there.
You've got adults that have arrested development everywhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying, mentally ill.
Yeah. And it's what's called failure to launch. And I still think that there is a correlation between that and neural pathways that are being altered through chronic internet usage.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
We're not meant to stare
because
at
I
a
am
screen.
nerd. Watch me, hear me read.
We're not meant to be staring at a screen. Like for
distracted
24 hours
right
or more.
And it's addictive.
Yeah. And designed so
Absolutely,
that it is addictive.
It's because if you quit using, somebody's losing money. That's what a lot of these problems go back to, is money. Follow the money trail. Because if you all stop scrolling, you stop seeing the ads. Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah.
But just so many awesome. And the thing about Stephen, that is so haunting. And that theme, ever so often, it's almost like Easter eggs in years later in some of his albums.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's just like, as far as Dada, the fact that he's got a song about dissociative identity disorder, and it's just like, what would be the chances?
Damn. I swear, the music that we listen to, in a way, also is almost like a foreshadowing of our lives.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
For new subscribers, I have a husband who has dissociative identity disorder.
Yes.
And is incarcerated again. Because that's what they do with people that are severely mentally ill and they don't know what to do with them.
But it's getting better.
He's doing a lot better.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot better. And it's, you know, married to a ghost, a disembodied voice. But that's better than a zombie. We found that out.
I wouldn't say ghost. I would say phone. You're married to an inanimate object that speaks to you.
Well, it's a ghost. It's like I said, it's a disembodied voice.
Because that's a different... A ghost is just fog form right there.
Well, maybe. So, but the RazorFist documentary about Alice Cooper is
but you're right.
Just amazing.
I need to watch it. I do need to watch it.
Yeah, kid came in here and I was just, that was one of the few times that I was just absolutely glued to the huge screen on the other side of the room. Yeah. Because I'm like, it's RazorFist. And he's talking about Alice Cooper. And he has the Alice Cooper eyes. Because RazorFist usually wears aviators.
But he also, like, he didn't do it quite right. And it ended up looking more like The Crow than...
It did. I didn't have a problem with that. Because The Crow is an awesome movie.
Yeah. Did they take inspiration from Alice Cooper with their
I'm
makeup?
sure they probably did. And that was one of the things that he said. So many artists took inspiration from him over a vast array of different types of music, even as far as punk. He went through, during those blackout years, new wave. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Like, that seriously, he got some good music out there. Has inspired a lot of people.
And it was just like, they explained about, as
like,
far as...
You can look anywhere, and the inspiration is there.
Ripping apart of the chicken. They explained how that happened.
What?
Everybody hears about the Ozzy and the bat. But this was new to me, even I had not heard part of the lore of the ripping apart of the chicken.
What now?
Alice explained
ripping apart a chicken?
That what they used to do as at the end of their concerts and stuff, they had these feather pillows, and they would just, rip the pillows apart, and the feathers would go every place and all this bunch of stuff. And he said that one night someone threw a live chicken up on the stage, And they picked up the chicken, threw it back to the crowd. The crowd ripped it apart, threw the parts up on the stage.
That's disturbing.
That is mob mentality is what that is, because that's what happens when you get,
That's gross.
frenzy. It was gross. But
And disturbing.
as horrible as that was, it was some of the best publicity because he was doing, shock act anyhow.
Yeah. And that just added to it. But
Absolutely.
that's like, oh shit.
And
I'm sure that was an oh shit moment for him too.
When he went over to England to perform and stuff, they had heard of this, and the press, of course, the Karens were outraged. We must stop him. He's horrible. Again, best publicity he could have ever had. They had, total sold out concert.
That's awesome.
Isn't it?
That is so cool.
Yeah, and that's part of
Poor chicken, but damn.
the No More Mr. Nice Guy. And it talks about how people talking terribly about him all the way to the bank. Yeah. Because he made it work for him. Mm-hmm. But an absolutely amazing something, which has nothing to do with the Pleiades on our backdrop today, because we just went off on a tangent.
And that's okay. We talked about music, and
We
that's what we
did.
do on a daily.
Music is something that is huge in kid and my life,
Yeah.
in our lives. So it's just,
It's always been there.
yeah. Can't make it through a day without it. Mm-mm. It's like that guy that your driving instructor that said that he didn't like music, and it was just like, what?
Yeah, it was just like he was not a big fan
It
of music, and
didn't
I'm
compute.
like, what?
Did not compute.
There's a lot of people like that though, and it's like you are missing something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, why?
And it can be any type of music that somebody enjoys. There's a world of music out there.
Of all different types,
Mm-hmm.
all different genres, different instruments. It's not just pop, punk, rock, soft rock, indie,
Any kind of instrumental,
any of
whatever.
this shit.
Except for the new age sleep music, and that shit all is the same. It sounds exactly the same.
Because it is the same. They get it from the same source, dead ass.
No.
I've used the source that they get their music from.
Well, I've listened to new age music on and off for many years, and there are some amazing artists out there of that genre. I don't know where the hell they are on YouTube, but it's, some of us can't sleep to that shit. It just annoys me. It really does. But other people, it's like, if I float your boat, that's like those water sounds. All it makes me, just have to go pee. I don't.
Yeah. It just makes you want to. Should I sleep in the toilet tonight?
It really is like, oh God. Let's see.
Do we need padded seats for the toilet now?
But radio, RazorFist, Alice Cooper. Don't be afraid to age people.
I mean,
Do
look
it
at Ozzy.
gracefully.
Look at
I
Ozzy.
love Ozzy. Ozzy is just fucking ageless.
Have you watched their podcast yet?
I have not.
It's really good. You need to watch it.
I'll have to do that. I'll have to do that.
Like Sharon's there.
Mm-hmm.
What's their son's name?
Oh dear, you asked me. Is it?
He's there, and then
Jack. I think is his name.
Jack's there, and Kelly.
Right.
So it's the whole fam
Right.
right there.
Right. And it's like, are they a little odd? Well, yeah. I mean, his life was odd.
But they're real
Everybody's
people.
life is odd. They are real people.
And it's awesome to see that.
Yeah. Ozzy puts on a hell of a show. I mean, all he does is he walks back and forth across the stage and sings.
That's all he's ever done.
That's all he needs to do. Now, Alice Cooper, when Kid and I got to go see him, I guess was it 2017? Because it was on the Paranormal tour. Mm-hmm. And we got to go see him, and that was a dream come true. That was a bucket list thing for me.
It was incredible. Like,
And
for real.
he had the ginormous, like, the plastic pumpkin things because it was close to Halloween.
But the Frankenstein, he had
Yeah.
the giant ass Frankenstein and did the guillotine
He
thing.
still puts on one hell of a show. You definitely get your money's worth.
And we got to see his wife dance.
Yeah.
She's an excellent dancer.
Yeah.
And them dancing together is just like, oh.
The whole thing was great.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful experience, and it's like a lot of people that was parents bringing their kids to the concert. It wasn't a bunch of just, drunken brawls and stuff like that. But one hell of a performer. Mm-hmm. Just awesome. And RazorFist is one hell of a performer, too. He's a very talented young man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Final thoughts, kid.
Final thoughts. Listen to the music.
It's about the music.
Yeah. Don't just hear it. Listen.
But if I can remember, I will put a link to the song about Ballad of Dwight Fry. God, it'll mess you up.
I don't think I need to be listening to that. But
No, but it's one of those. It's always been one of my favorites. Yeah. So if you've had experiences
Alice
with
is cool.
Huh?
Alice is cool.
He is cool because he always. It's a matter of him being himself.
Yeah.
People that are strong enough to be themselves or their stage persona. Now he's got that balance. He knows how to turn. He has an off switch on it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool. He seems to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Chose to be a good guy. As opposed to a dead one.
Mm. Yep.
Lots of those.
Yeah.
Lots of those. If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, if you would like to share your favorite Alice Cooper song with us, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. Email will be there in the description box. Comment on it.
Yeah. One more thing. It's hard to imagine Alice Cooper, the dude that's like rock and goth and all that, playing golf.
Yeah.
I can't. It's hard to see that.
It's okay.
How does he dress? Because I cannot imagine him dressing how golf people dress.
Just golf clothing. I mean, he doesn't have the plaid pants. I hope not. But he may. Because it's still him.
Yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe. Did I accidentally cut you off?
No.
Well, I don't know what part I was on now. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, most of all, subscribe, and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all. Have a good.
Know that you're loved.
Yes.
And that you're appreciated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup. We will cover the story about the Pleiadians in a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
Lord willing.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.